Hello everyone. In today's locomotive profile we'll be doing is one of the rarest steam locomotives to ever work at the South. That is meet one of the rarest locomotives to ever worked at the South. Central of Georgia Class Ks, or they're known as the Big Apples. The, the Central of Georgia Railroad K Class 44s were a class of engines built by Lima Locomotive Works. Now you might be wondering, look at the wheels and the cab mainly. That looks very familiar. And you might be thinking, maybe they're from another railroad that has used them. Nope. Here's the explanation. During World War II, the Central Georgia Railway found itself short on passenger locomotives. During this time, however, the War Production Board only allowed dual service or freight locomotives of existing designs to be built, meaning they cannot build a new locomotive from their own shops. Much like how they did the Pennsylvania Railroad, that doesn't allow them to build a new locomotive. So they decided to purchase 8 clones of the locomotive of a similar design, the Southern Pacific's Class GS2 44 Northerns. Now I can see why they look so different and familiar, mainly the cab and the wheels that has the star shape on the wheel on the drivers. But the tender, however, is a bit small compared to locomotive. The Lima Locomotive Works built the Central of Georgia 44s in 1943. The railway rostered these engines as Class K locomotives, and they were used as freight and passenger locomotives. They were numbered 451 to 458. These locomotives eventually become affectionately known as Big Apples. The Central Georgia also put the Big Apples on their permanent trains, like the Dixie Flyer and the Shamho, sorry for mispronouncing the name, as they were dual service built locomotives. The Class K44 484s were also used on freight trains. Unfortunately, however, there are no existing Big Apples today because all of them were scrapped. But one almost made it to preservation. However, number sorry, however, number 451 was this close to being preserved, but there are rumors concerning the matter. The first one is number 451 was donated to the park in Columbus, Georgia, around the time that the Southern Railway was taking over the Central of Georgia system. And the second one is it was inside the locomotive shops in Macon, Georgia until it was scrapped in 1959 after the railroad failed to find its engine a city or museum to display it. The engine would have survived 1 or 2 years' time before the Atlanta chapter of NRHS was looking for a steam engine to be chosen to choose and restored, meaning that number 451 almost made it to preservation, but unfortunately, due to some factors, it ultimately sealed its fate. Which is a shame though, because they could have at least had this locomotive preserved. The Central Georgia's 44 Northerns had these following specifications: Walshart's valve gear, 73 drivers, and with a 250 psi boiler pressure, 27 times 30-inch cylinders, and its water holds 13,000 gallons of water and 20 tons of coal, and had a tractive effort of 63,230 pounds of tractive effort. And that's it for this video for the Big Apples. Like and subscribe, and see you later, guys.